There is one particular city, one particular state that the news and media keep talking about, that they keep discussing. And I'm not talking about Maui and Hawaii. They want whatever happened in Hawaii to be quickly swept under the rug. They don't want us to keep talking about how those fires were not natural, how there's still many missing children, or how the waters were quickly shut off as the residents were combating those fires. No, they don't want us to talk about that. That's why you don't hear much about Hawaii in the news anymore. But there is one city, one state that does have a focus on it right now, and you may not realize it, you may not be aware of it, but it could be in your subconscious, and that city and state is New York and New York City. With what's happening overseas, the major event that has cost a lot of lives so far, you are hearing the country that begins with the letter I, you're hearing them say that this event is their September 2001. You're hearing them say that a lot. You're hearing the news say that a lot, that this is comparable to September 2001. That is the repetition that keeps getting stuffed into us. September 2001, New York, September 2001. Now, if you're hearing me say certain things and not saying out the entire word, that is because currently social media is in an overdrive looking out for any kind of misinformation, any kind of keywords. Europe has given Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg 24 hours to combat any misinformation, and I'm sure YouTube has followed suit, because YouTube is always the first one to bend the knee to these orders. Going back to New York City, we do see circulating in the news that New York City does have a very, very bad migrant problem. New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, has called out Joe Biden saying, "We need help. There is an overburden here. We do have an overload of migrants. They're sleeping in the streets. They have nothing to eat. Hospitals are overcrowded. Migrant crisis tests New Yorkers who thought they supported immigration." Now, you don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat or even be into politics to know we have a real issue, a real problem, a real crisis at the border. We hear in the news all the time that America has a real weak spot, that there is a real easy way to gain entry into the United States. The migrants come in from the South American border and they are shipped from Texas by the busloads to New York. And not only that, but many other migrants just make their way to New York because there is a right to shelter policy in place. We were led to believe that many of those migrants came from South America or maybe countries like Haiti, that they were asylum seekers. But now they're letting us know, and you won't find this information in the news in 2022 or 2021, but as of 2023, they are letting us know that thousands upon thousands of those migrants came from Middle Eastern countries. I just may be ignorant of the news, but in 2022, I never heard of Middle Eastern immigrants making their way across to the United States from the South American border. Turn on the news back in 2022 and you would see parades of migrants walking their way to the border waving South American flags. But like I said, 2023 is the strangest year of all. Now they're letting us know, no, the people that are also crossing into the United States from the southern border are also people coming from countries that oppose us helping a certain country that currently has a catastrophic event going on. And most of these migrants, again, are heading to New York City. The news and media are also letting us know that there's currently clashing going on between two groups of people. People that support the country that begins with the letter I, and people that support the group that begins with the letter H. This clashing has been going on for about a couple days now, and it's only taking place inside New York City. Both sides with large groups of people met inside Times Square. Now, how did they know they were going to meet up with each other at exactly the same time? We don't know. We're not allowed to ask those type of questions. But anyway, a real brawl breaks out. The police have to get involved. People cannot cross the street. People are fighting one another, punching one another, taking each other's flags. So it looks like on camera there is a lot of tension inside New York City. This tension could really ramp up depending on how this event goes overseas. We could see some people being overwhelmed from what they are seeing, and a real catastrophic event could take place. There could be a lot of chaos. Become chaos comes order. Order out of chaos. That is the Freemason way. So what weird news did I discuss in September that involved New York City and the Freemasons? And I said during that video that I made about this topic that they are telling us this for a reason. That news being, Mayor Eric Adams and City Police Commissioner Edward Caban were inducted Master Masons in a secret ceremony at Gracie Mansion. They are now 33rd degree Masons. Now, why would the news let us know that? It's always been a conspiracy theory that your politician is in a secret society, that your politician is a Freemason, because your politician should be working for the people. And once you find out that your politician is a Mason, a Master Mason, a 33rd degree Mason, they're no longer working for the people. They are working for the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood comes first. These 33rd degree Masons have now reached a new level of enlightenment. The 33rd degree Mason now has a new motto, Ordo ab Chaos. In other words, order out of chaos. So is it really a coincidence that we finally see a politician become a 33rd degree Mason inside New York City, where their motto is order out of chaos, and we're seeing all this chaos spill over inside New York City, between the migrants coming through from the border from these Middle Eastern countries and all these clashes and tension between these two groups of people, which, like I said, if things get worse overseas, it's going to come to a head over here. So again, one has to ask themselves, why did they tell us that not only does New York City's mayor, but also New York City's police commissioner now follow the motto, order out of chaos? There are many different orders of Freemasons. There are Black Freemasons. There are White Freemasons. There is even a female order of Freemasons. But once you hit that magic number of 33, those previous orders no longer matter. You are now an enlightened one. You are now welcome to the secret brotherhood. You are now an enlightened one. You are enlightened to new teachings. You now follow the Luciferian gospel, where Lucifer is the one true God. You now follow along with the teachings of Confederate General Albert Pike and leader of the Freemasons. Remember when all those Confederate soldiers and general statues were being removed all across the country in the United States? People were bringing them down. Well, General Albert Pike, his monument still resides inside Washington, D.C. Matter of fact, he's the only Confederate who has a monument inside Washington, D.C., and I wonder why. Well, the news created multiple articles back in 2013 and 2016 how Albert Pike wrote chilling letters over 150 years ago, which both predicted World Battle I and World Battle II. The media describe it as scarily accurate. He also foresaw a third massive global conflict between the Islamic State and that country that begins with the letter I and its allies. This third and final battle against Islamic leaders will have our nation fighting to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. He also says Christianity would be destroyed and a one world government will be established. Kind of sounds a lot like Project Bluebeam. Some are saying these letters are a hoax, but given that the news and media were talking about this back in 2013 and 2016, somebody had to make this very accurate prediction. This doesn't even sound like a prediction at all. What it does sound like is a 33rd degree Mason instruction manual. Once again showing that the world is a stage and we are just the roaches inside the theater. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.